we have wasted about 10-12 minutes. Yes, sir, we can share, we can see your screen.
Yeah, it is okay now.
Yeah, it is okay, sir. It is coming. But not the first screen, but still something is coming. Yeah, now it is okay, sir. We can see your slides. At the above, it is showing, got it. Yes, it is moving, sir. It is moving. It is moving.
Okay.
It is moving, sir. Yes. Sir, can you remove this? Customize your view.
Sure.
Okay. Now it is okay. So, sir, first of all, I would like to welcome all. We have with us Professor Dr. Nahar Singh, who is the head in the National Physical Laboratory of this Bharatiya Nideshak Dravya reference material made by India, made in India. And earlier we are all aware that we were importing all the reference materials from US, and these reference materials are very costly. We are all aware of that. And in India, in most of the laboratories, we find that these reference materials are not being used in the laboratory. They generally, most of the time, they used to be expired without use. So being very costly, Government of India, this National Physical Laboratory has started this new work, which is the reference material, which are very much required for all type of testing. As we know, if we have to test the urine, the human urine or the blood, we need some reference, and that reference material needs to be prepared somewhere, which is actually anywhere it has to be tested and prepared. The Professor Nahar Singh is MSc in physics, and he is PhD, MBA, LLB. He has more than 100 publications, 10 patents, and he has 5 technology transfer to the industry. Sir, we have with us our Joint Secretary, Sir, Shri Vinit Mathur Sahab, who is here to motivate us for organizing these type of programs. Sir, I would like to request you to kindly speak to us and inaugurate this workshop. Shri Mathur, sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, Ashutosh Agarwal ji, and good morning to all the participants. Good morning, Dr. Nahar Singh ji, Senior Principal Scientist and Head of Indian Reference Material, Bharatiya Nirdeshak Dravya Institution and Division of National Physical Laboratory. I'm indeed delighted that we are actually having this session today with one of the very known experts in this particular area who's heading this particular work in the country. Any development of any economy and its weights and measurements need reference standards. And as has been mentioned in the introductory remarks by Ashutosh ji, we were earlier importing a lot of reference materials from across the world, and they were also not being used appropriately. Now, to take you back a little bit, the requirement of SI standards and where exactly the traceability of measurement, that is, I think, the core point, which is of importance. And reference materials are extremely important in the traceability, where exactly this particular measurement is having a standard from and who has certified this particular standard. So in that area, there is a lot of work which is being done by the National Physical Laboratory, the CSIR, and other research institutions in India. And we, as the Consumer Affairs Ministry, are also wanting this particular area to be developed in our regional reference standards materials laboratories. And we are taking down this particular issue and wanting all the industry, the commercial institutions, as well as the consumers to know the importance of having a traceability of through the reference material systems. So I think it's an extremely important and a technical area where we need insights from an expert who's working for many years in this area. We are certainly delighted to have the expert, and as a policy initiative, if there is any requirement which emerges from this particular session, we would be looking forward to taking those points and developing those particular areas which are requirement for the Indian industry or the consumers. So I wish this particular seminar and a national workshop great success, and I would like to now properly hand over to Dr. Nahar Singh to give us his a brief lecture on the subject. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Can I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Please.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Director NPL, firstly, I would like to thank Mr. Ashutosh Agarwal, Mr. Vinit Mathur, and all the participants who are joined online. Actually, last day, Doctor, here is problem. Echo something, or is it okay? Hello, Mr. Agarwal.
Please, sir, please continue.
Okay. So, in last
Sir, your
2
voice is
3 days
breaking.
before, Dr. Agarwal, please give a presentation as we are organizing one conference in Ahmedabad. So I want to physically to discuss all these things with the participant and our members. Because when you are going to online, there are several things which cannot be because what you want to say. So this is face reading. Sometimes it is very difficult to what you are going to say, what you want to understand, what you want to ask. So it will be better. Sometimes it should be, I think most of the time, on offline. Because when you are present physically, you can interact with your participants. Otherwise, it will be one way talking. What I am saying, somebody listening, somebody is not listening, it depends. So, well, I will try my best what I am doing, what CSR and FIL doing in the area of reference materials. So first, I want to tell you what is the Bharatiya Nirdeshak Dravya. You know, it is the Indian reference material, and we have given its trade name Bharatiya Nirdeshak Dravya, which is registered trademark of CSR NPL. This reference material program has been started in NPL in 1996 during the period of Dr. Agarwal also. And after that, Dr. A.K. Sarkar, then Dr. Prabhat Gupta, and since 1990, sorry, 2016, I am looking after this whole BND division. So first we should know about something about what is the NPL. So it has been inaugurated in June 2019 by Honorable Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and stone was laid down in 4 January 1947. So as of India, just say the realized establishment, custody, maintenance, determination, reproduction, and updating of national standards of weight and measures is the responsibility of CSR and PIL. However, dissemination is related to all these things is the responsibility of legal methodology. So you can understand how legal methodology is linked with the CSR and PIL. Finally, because we have to achieve the asset traceability units. So all the 7 base units like kilogram having symbol, just see that this is unit, this is symbols, and all the 7 base units are taken care by with the NPL, like meter, second, ampere, Kelvin, mole, candela. Now, firstly, we should know how this policy system worldwide, because without proper information, you cannot go for metrology. What is the real meaning of metrology? Urgently, there are several regional metrology organizations worldwide. Just the green color is Inter-American Metrology System, which we call SIM. And this is blue region. It is APMP, Asia Pacific Metrology Program. This light color is Inter-Africa Metrology System, AFRIMET, what we call. And this is Gulf Met. In the same way, this is CUMET and this is Euramet. So our whole the world has been divided in the 6 regional metrology organizations, and NPL comes under APMP. However, we can participate another NMI also. Just see, this is the meter convention. through BIPM. So there are two general conference, CGPM and BIPM, which creates CIPM. So all the metrology taken care by the CIPM.
I'm sorry, Dr. Nahar Singh, your voice is regularly breaking.
Problem is that I was talking about there is some problem at network in my area. It is okay now?
Dr. Nahar Singh, we are not able
Yeah.
to hear you.
Oh my God.
His voice is audible, Mr. Agarwal. Hello, Ashutosh ji.
हमें तो थोड़ी आ रही है, कभी कभी बीच में हल्की सी कहीं पर ऑडिबिलिटी नहीं होती है, लेकिन
Now it is
बाकी
okay?
आवाज आ रही है.
It is okay now?
हमें तो
Yes sir,
पूरा आ
yes
रहा
sir.
है. हमें पूरा आ रहा है.
जी जी.
Yeah. So all the NMIs can participate among other countries also, like what we call RMOs, Regional Metrology Organization. Just there are BIPM, CIPM, which creates joint committee for RMOs. So within APMP, or you can participate another RMOs. How your of India, how our quality infrastructure is working. There are basically four organizations. One is BIS. The main role of BIS to develop reference standards. Suppose in case of any standards is not available, so BIS creating reference standards within requirement of country. When we are using as such standard of other countries, we are using ISO. And when we are giving our input, we are using as Indian scenario, ISO, IEC. So, and second work is related to QCI, Quality Council of India. Means NABH and NABL. The main role of NABL is to accreditation. And third is legal metrology. The main role of metrology is to regulation like CPCB, DOT, MNRE, FSSI, and all these things are linked with the CSR NPL. How traceability is coming for all the measurements. So these are the basic four pillars of the quality infrastructure in India. Presently, in NPL there are 6 divisions. One is physico-mechanical division. Second is electrical and electronics. Third is environment. Fourth is advanced materials. Fifth is Indian reference material. And sixth, Indian standard time. So this is the fifth one which I am heading. And another department also developing reference material. So we have created our group for development of reference material. And seventh is directorate. So what we get from the measurement? Because what you are using in your science, it requires some reference. On the basis of some reference value, you can say our science is scientific. Because without traceability, it's difficult to establish the traceability of your results. And in the same way, it makes technology perfect. How I will show in the next slide. It creates environment clean, energy sustainable, and international trade barriers, cyber security, and also policies for national building and healthcare affordable. Urgently, CSR NPL is taking care so many laboratories across the countries, industries, SARC nations, like government and semi-government, Air Force, Air India, Bharat Electronics, BEL. Yes, see, these are several organizations in the same industries, most of the industries from India and SARC nation, all the 7 countries. We are providing training in the area of all the 7 base units. It may be Nepal, it may be Bangladesh, it may be Bhutan, it may be Afghanistan. So on SARC basis, NPL is providing training in the area of 7 base units. Now, first we go to technology, how we are making the technology. So at present, there are 4 stages like concept, development, manufacturing, trading. These are the four things for development of any products. Just see, this academia is very strong for making any concept because in teaching we understand what is the meaning of what we are going to develop something. But in case of trading, it is very near about zero, manufacturing is zero, and development near about zero. However, in case of industries, it is very strong in trading, medium is manufacturing, development is nil, and concept is nil. So when we want to create academia and industry, there is a requirement of national quality infrastructure where this NABL, QCI, BIS, NPL, and legal metrology come into picture. Because without metrology or product certification, we cannot develop a good product. So whatever the concept developed by academia, industry has to develop that product, and this has been certification by the our quality infrastructure what available in the India. It may be through NPL, it may be any accredited bodies. So these are the basics for making quality infrastructure in India. Because most of the time we are saying it is something jugaad. Because jugaad means there is no traceability of the measurement. What academia or industry has developed, they are using as a jugaad something. But this is not a scientific instrument. For making scientific instrument, you require academia, industries, and of course, our quality infrastructure across the country. So we can develop the better system what we are procuring right now from other countries. Because you just see most of the instruments, maybe pH meter to higher instruments, are procuring other countries. This is the main reason. Because academia is going for teaching, industry one only trading, and there is no role of metrology department everywhere. So we have to join together for making good products within the country. Now, scenario right now, because scientists what are doing, they understand what we have done is excellent. Nobody compare that. In the same day, industry, they are saying what we have developed, it is one of the best systems. But where is the validation? Who is going to purchase this system? So you have to join all these things, scientists, industries, and validation at the same time to making a good product. So what is the goal of metrology? Number one, to make it correct measurements, irrespective of person who is doing anything, to have confidence in your measurement, to make outside world believe in your capability of calibration or testing, and to put our technical capabilities for countries also. Because being a NMI, it is the responsibility to provide traceability across the country and also to help all the industries and to assist global trade for international acceptance. How will get metrology? Definitely it is going to improve your work efficiency. It gives your broad certificates for the product, which will be acceptable national or international level. And also it will help for global trade visibility. And again, it will give authenticity of your measurement because it is not a person dependent. It depends upon the quality infrastructure. And it makes your work transparent and definitely finally it is going to attract more business, which is our basic objective. So this reference material started worldwide because in your daily life you require reference material. Just say in the since morning when you wake up, what you require first? You require some time because if your clock is giving wrong time, what will happen? So there is required some reference. After waking up, you require some heating device for making tea, food, etc. So you require once again some temperature. Again, you are going to office, you require some speed. When you go to speed, you feel sometime I am feeling some problem, then you have to go to hospital. Hospital are checking your blood pressure, your temperature. It again requires measurements. If doctor say your blood pressure is okay, but it is not still okay. But being wrong measurement, what you feel? Because problem is there, but because of the wrong measurement, it can create a problem. But the same way, when you are giving negative result and when you are positive, and when you are positive giving negative result, then you will feel the consequences. What is going to happen? So all these areas, you require some reference material to get authenticity of the results. Because without any reference, it is difficult to get the good quality measurement. Because all the measurements are based on some reference value. Now, there are near about NIST is near about 13,500 reference material. The NIST reference material we called SRM, standard reference material, which is again trademark of NIST. In the same way called BND. And CRM produced was by European Union more than 2000 and by Asian countries more than 1000. And recently CSR has NPL developed more than 125 reference material. Just see, these are the countries, Japan, this is related number of CRMs, and these are the accredited bodies in 36, and Germany having near about 10, UK having 11, and in the same way, in India, we have near about 10 RMPs, reference material producers. And we have developed so far near about 125 reference material. So what impact of reference material? Number one, definitely going to revenue and time saving, customer satisfaction, and definitely it is going to increase your export. Because for any export, you require certification from any accreditation bodies for conformity assessment, because again it is going to check somewhere when you have quality infrastructure. So there is no need to check the material once again. So still may be of different category, like it may be related to chemical composition, it may be related to biological, it may be physical properties, engineering properties, or another properties. For example, metals, ferrous, non-ferrous, inorganic, maybe agricultural related chemicals, fertilizers, pure chemicals, isotopes, ores, minerals, and related to organic, like maybe pure substance, agricultural material, fertilizer, food stuff, petroleum product. In the same ion selectivity, it may be related to pH, ion selectivity, conductivity, buffer solution. So many things are there. In the same way, environment reference material, same way in the gases, forensic reference material, health and industrial hygiene, engineering materials. So in the every area, we require reference material. So the use of reference material. First, because you have to demonstrate the accuracy of the results. Because all the results based on not some comparison. On what basis you are going to establish traceability? Without reference material, it will not be possible to get the traceability. So for making any instrument calibration, to monitor laboratory performance, for validation of the method, and for comparison of the methods, you require some reference material. Without reference material, it is difficult to achieve the traceability and the accuracy of the results. In last, we are facing problem related to export. We have find problem in the area of rice, in the area of tea, in the area of wheat. Everybody is aware about that. What is the reason of that? Because sometimes we're taking in all the things in a casual way. Chalta hai, sab cheezein in India, this is possible. Because our most of the products get failed. The main reason because we are not using reference material, which are available across the country, and in several areas, reference materials are not available. So, in the area of organic materials, the life of the reference standard is very low. So, even when you are procuring some other countries, it gets expired within 1 or 2 months. So, what are the money you have spent for the reference material? It goes in the wind, it goes waste. Just I'm giving one example. There is a one train in which is running from, I think, from Punjab to Bikaner, which we call cancer train. It is because of the toxic content of the rice. But nobody is aware if from we are getting cadmium and arsenic, because there is no arsenic and cadmium in the soil, in the water. Then how we are getting from in the rice? It means we are doing something wrong measurement. It may be coming from the water, it may be from the soil, or from the fertilizer, or itself rice content can this arsenic or cadmium. But still, we are not able to find out what is the reason of cadmium and rice. So our rice has been failed by Iran country also. Just imagine that. In the same way, last time we have seen the problems of wheat in the tea. So more than 20,000 crore rupees we are getting lost from foreign exchange because of the export of these products. So how we are going to rectify these problems? It is a responsibility of all the quality measurement system in India. It may be NPL, it may be BIS, it may be legal metrology, it may be QCI, because it is a joint responsibility of all the organization in our country. We can provide the proper knowledge, proper reference material for acceptance of our product. So what is the reference material? Again, the developed reference material which have traceability, it is linked with to international comparison through maybe ISO, through RAMCO, or another regional organization. So this BND goes to industry, and this industry use this reference material for their process control, quality system, test inspection, and R&D also. So what will the use of the reference material? Definitely you are going to cut down of the cost, of course, quality products, and enhancement of the reliability of your measurements, and promotion of the new products. Because when you are using reference material, you can use in the R&D also. So finally, it will strengthen industrial advancement in international competitiveness in India. So these are the reference material which we require for making our product in a better quality, which can be accepted worldwide. Now, firstly, I brief about what is this quality infrastructure across the world, and what was the requirement, why there is a requirement of that. You know, after World War II, everything is destroyed because of this war. So 23 countries in Geneva 1947 meet, and they agreed how we can make this what we call GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. So after 8 rounds of discussion, this WHO has been created in 1947 in Geneva, and after that, they have what is the objective there? Because they want to protect their animal life and safety, and also technical barrier in trade, in the form of it may be testing, it may be calibration, it may be inspection, or it may be certification. So further in, I think around 1996, around 44 countries again meet in Amsterdam, and they have created ILAC, International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation, and all regional bodies required to sign ILAC arrangement also. Again, in I think 36 countries from 36 members from 28 countries meet in Washington, and they have created global network for accreditation, testing, calibration, and inspection bodies. Probably there are 150 accredited bodies across the world. In the same way, in regional level, what we call APMP, we have started this Asia Pacific Laboratory Accreditation Program, which we called APLAC. So accredited bodies also required evaluation or peer review, what we call peer assessment, for their continuing competence. So after World War II, NATA was the first organization who have established this providing testing services. And after that, New Zealand in 1981 has started this program. Further, it has been developed by USA, then UK, then Hong Kong, and I think 15 years back, Annabelle has started this program also. And at the same time, under MRA provision, accreditation bodies like Annabelle also required to establish and maintain its system as per ISO 1, ISO IC 17001, what we call conformity assessment for bodies who are providing assessment and accreditation for conformity assessment. In the same way, the accreditation bodies which we provide certification as per ISO 17025, which we call requirement for competency of testing and calibration laboratories, or ISO 15159 related to medical laboratories, and again ISO IC 17020 conformity assessment for operation of various type of bodies performing inspection. So these are the background on what basis this accreditation health program is starting. Now we are coming our topic. What is the requirement for making development of reference material BND? So it is general information, because how we are going to develop reference material. Firstly, it requires processing of the material, further sample preparation. Again, you have to check its homogeneity. Then you have to check its stability. Again, characterization, value assignment with associated uncertainties, and further certification of the reference material. So these are the minimum requirement, because you have required 17034 2016, what we call general requirement for the competence of reference material producers, and ISO guide 35, which is required for statistical principle for certification. GUM document 100, which is required for evaluation of measurement data and also to check uncertainty in measurement. Guide 31 provide how we are going to make certificate labels and related documentation. And again, 025, what is the requirement of that? General requirement for the competency of testing and calibration laboratory. So these are the minimum requirement for development of reference material. So there are some things which cannot, because for making reference material, you can go establish other laboratory also, because it is difficult to develop everything in your lab. So you can make agreement with another organization, any accredited bodies, but you have to find out the competency for development of reference material. But still, project planning, project management, assignment of decision and property value, authorization of property value, and issuing of reference material certificates. You cannot subcontract it. Remaining all things except all these five, you can go for subcontracted. Right now, we have several material producers like Hindustan Petroleum, Bharat Petroleum, NCCBM, Mint, and sister level CSR NPL like IITR Lucknow, Simpa Dhanbad, IIP Dehradun. And we have developed reference material related to petroleum product with Bharat Petroleum for chemical and physical parameters, HPCL, chemical and parameters for building materials with NCCBM, gold and precious metal with Mint Mumbai, and also with Jalan and Company Delhi. Related to water or aqueous standards, we have one RMP from Ahmedabad of Ashutosh Technologies, and for hardness blocks, we have Global PT. For mineral and ores, we have SUMS from Karnataka. For organic compounds, for foods related antibiotics and pesticide, we have fair lab. And related to pesticide, we have another lab also, which is of CSR lab, CSR IATR, and Simpa Dhanbad for coal-based matrix. So these are our reference material producers through which we are providing traceability in the area of petroleum. It may be building material, it may be precious metal, it may be aqueous standards. And I just want to share one thing, because now we are using 100% petroleum based reference material indigenously. So we are not procuring from other countries. Even we are supplying European countries, Gulf countries, and African countries. In the same way, we have avoided all the reference material to building materials. We are using our own reference material across the country, and even in these European countries and also in African countries. In the same way, precious metal related to gold and silver, which is used in BIS for hallmarking, we are using our own indigenous reference material. In the same way, hardness block. So now you can, within the few years, we have avoid most of the reference material which we are procuring other countries. These are the reference material. We have started this for BND for aqueous standard. It is start from 1000 series. Related to instrument calibration, this is start from 2000. Related to nanomaterials, we have started series from 2900. For food and beverages, 3000. Metals and alloy, 4000. BND for cement and building materials from 5000. And related to coal, 5100. Related to gas mixture, 6000. And petroleum based from 7000. Minerals and ore, 8000. And BND for biomaterials from 9000. So these are the different series. We have given nomenclature for different reference material. So you can go to the website of the NPL. You can find detailed information what reference material you require. So we will link to directly our reference material producers. So for the reference material you require, just go to website of CSR NPL. So related your queries, we will forward your information to the RMPs. They will contact the industry. They will provide the quotation and reference material. This is just information. In the 2000, we have released 25 numbers of BNDs with NCCBN. This is some photographs. And this is marking. We have now hallmark 18 carats, 14 carats, 22 carats, and high purity gold also. So all the reference material developed by Mint Mumbai and also Jalan Jewelers. Again, because you calibration like X-ray diffraction, CSR NPL has developed reference material related to alpha anemia. This reference number is 2001. So you can purchase this reference material because there are several XRD, but without calibration, how you are going to say if phase is okay? So you can calibrate your instrument using BND 2001 for calibration of the XRD. This is same calibration. And when you are going to calibrate your scanning electron microbes, you require again some reference material. So because you have to get the calibration of your instruments. Without calibration, it is difficult to achieve the required measurement what you have developed. So these reference material may be cost in lakh rupees, but we are providing only 30,000, 32,000 rupees. I'm just giving example of this FTIR. There are maybe more than 50,000 FTIR in India, but reference material is not available. Recently, we have developed this reference material related to FTR calibration, and CSR NPL is providing only 20,000 rupees, including taxes. and the same reference material is coming from the NIST. So you just imagine how we can save this foreign currency for India. This activity related to reference material has been inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, along with our Dr. Harshvardhan. This is the division. Just say and these are 5 reference material which has been developed in collaboration of the ASHVI. These are related to waters. This is related to XRD. This is related to petroleum BND waste. So we have 2 reference material producers. We have HPCL, we have BPCL. So all the reference material which is required for BS 6, all these available within the NPL. Again, in 4th Gen, we have launched 2 reference material about for gold and silver. For high purity, it may be 24 karat, 18 karat, 22 karat, like that. So you can procure these reference material from Jalan and company. And high purity you can get from the Mint Mumbai. Dr. Jitendra, Honorable Prime Minister, who is the Minister of Science and Technology, has inaugurated in 4th Jan of 2022. This is related to 5 reference material with BPCL, Bharat Petroleum. Again, this reference material related to water has been inaugurated by our Honorable Minister Shri Jitendra Singh. This is related to reference material. This is related to gas reference material. This is related to 18 carats gold and silver material. And just I want to give some information about what are the facilities available in NPL. Like structural characterization, we have XRD, HRXRD, for which is required for structural and fin analysis. It may be in the form of solid, it may be powder, or it may be thin film. We have also elemental analyzer like XRF, ICP, HRICP, ICP OES. And for microscopic studies, we have TAM, HRTAM. We have morphological studies, SAM EDX, FEACM, AFM. For optical properties, we have FTIR, UVs. For particle size, zeta potential, DLS, zeta sizer, PSA. So these are the few instruments which are available within our division. This is some about NPL, what NPL has developed in last few. All the tests related to 7 base unit provided the NPL. This indelible has been provided by the NPL also. Last 20 to 60, I think more than 65 years, it has been developed by Mysore Paint. And it is the only product of country which we are supplying more than 22 countries. And this time also going to across the country. We have battery station in Antarctica. We have provided several advanced carbon products and of course Indian reference material. This is the code of India which has been preserved by NPL also. So from this, these are some future programs. Now we are searching the reference material producers for pesticide because right now we don't have any reference material for pesticide. So we have contacted 2% from ASWI and FairLab who are going to develop this reference material related to pesticide like chlorpyrifos, caffeine, piperidine, like that. In the same way, antibiotics, we have one RMP recently, we have made agreement with pharma affiliate syndicates and probably more than 20 reference material like tetracycline, sulfadiazine, chlorophenicol will be developed in the help of pharma affiliates. Again, related to foods, folic acid, valine, iodine, mycotoxin, D-glucose, alpha-toxin are going to develop with the help of fair. In the same way, ferrous and non-ferrous alloys, UV standards like potassium dichromate, polyvinyl oxide, Newtonian and Newtonian fluids, we are going to develop in-house in CSRNPL. So this is of CSRNPL. Of course, this cannot be done without our BND partners, reference material producers, NABL, legal metrology, BIS. So I acknowledge all our BND partners and thank you for your kind attention to listen about the reference material. Please, if you have any query, you can ask. Yes. We have a lot of time. We can discuss.
आशुतोष अनम्यूट कर लीजिए आप.
Hello. Hello. Is it audible?
Yeah. Yes, it is audible. I
Any
think,
query, please?
You are, sir, you are audible. You please continue.
Yeah.
So
It's over. I have completed my presentation.
yeah.
Huh.
Thank
Whatever
you.
the
Thank
query,
you,
you can
Doctor.
please ask.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you,
you very
Dr.
much, sir.
Nara.
Thank you.
My question is about the point you made in between about the rice exports and maybe certain heavy metals which are being found in our exports, and
Yeah.
we are unable to trace why those metals are found in our produce, especially the rice which is being exported, and many of our consignments being rejected because of that from the countries who are sourcing that. So, is there a still requirement of developing reference materials, or maybe to find out what exactly is the cause in maybe the rice growing areas in northern India, why that particular metal is coming, or we've been able to find the solution for that? Similarly, you mentioned, I think if there is industry in this session, and if we can listen to them, that what are their challenges which they are facing because of, you know, reference materials, and if the measurement is not up to the mark or there are certain deviations, what sort of international challenges and exports are being faced? That will be interesting for us to possibly look into. And then, of course, you mentioned there are certain areas where work is in progress, and we are looking for partners or indigenously in-house developing reference materials. So, are there any areas like I could not see the liquefied petroleum gas and other areas? Are there some reference standard materials still missing in those areas and work needs to be done? And there may be segments in the industry which may be requiring that. So thank you. If you can comment on these, sir.
Sure, sure. Firstly, I want to inform about this rice. Recently, we have developed one reference material with L&T Foods because this company has export this product from country India to from other countries, and it get failed. So, so they have given one project to CSRNPL to develop reference material and organize a one PT across the country. So with the help of L&T Foods, we have developed one reference material, and we during this production of rice, we have during we have arsenic, cadmium, which are the toxic contaminants required in rice because these are not naturally available in the rice. So we have induced during production of the rice, and we have sent these samples to our PT across the country. So to check their capability, where they are finding the problems, that is why we have established one PT program across the country for making to avoid some discrepancy in the results. Because at that time there was no reference material available for the rice. and they were using their, because there are two types of reference material, which is matrix based. When you are going to analyze your reference material, were using water based reference material. So there is effect of matrix. That is why results were not comparable. When you are using reference material related to matrix match, definitely there will be no problem. But because the awareness, not availability of the reference material, this happened. And because firstly, what is the first requirement? It is related to water, it is related to cement, petroleum product, ferrous, non-ferrous, antibiotics, and pesticide. These are the core areas of India, because most of the accredited labs are doing testing related all these things. So we require this process under any bill. Suppose we have developed reference material in the country, but nobody is purchasing, then what will the use of that? So firstly, we have say its economy also. Who are going to use this reference material? Suppose we have developed reference material and nobody is purchasing, it is very costly affair. So firstly, we are focusing those areas in which enable giving accreditation. There are, I think, more than 6,000 laboratories across the country. So are they basically for water, food, minerals, or like that. So this is the major focus right now.
Dr. Nahar Singh,
Yeah, please.
participants are requesting to share the presentation. Can we share your presentation to the participants?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, thank you very much. So, sir, now what you suggest, as you have rightly said, that first of all, we should know that what are the CRMs which have to be utilized.
Yes,
And,
yes.
so that the laboratories or the industries can start manufacturing those. I
Yes.
feel if we will be manufacturing, certainly it's a big option for exporting, because large number
Definitely.
of countries are importing either from US or from Europe. So we can think of it, but how we can develop it, maybe in the government sector, if the private sector is not doing fast, we can think over that how we can start in the government sector. If we can think over it, it will be very great help, because you being in the government and another government organization, if we come together, or some private organization, because I know there are large number of industries in this Gujarat or Maharashtra which can work over it. So if you think we can have a close meeting with few of the manufacturers, what are the, because you are in the field, you know better what are the CRMs which have to be manufactured or which have to be required immediately. We can think of it and we can start working in that direction.
Yes. Because it is responsibility. It is joint responsibility of QCI, legal metrology, of course, NPL also, and NABL also. Because we have to create awareness. Firstly, we should know what is the requirement of the country. And for making reference material, you require more skill in comparison to 17025. Because you are going to establish your traceability on the basis of your reference material. So
Sure.
measurement is a different thing. But making reference material is tedious and you require more skill in comparison to others.
So we have to, I think it is a right time. We should come closer, and legal metrology, National Physical Laboratory, or other organizations which are basically
Yes.
ready to work over it, and we can find some few of the reference materials which over which we can immediately start thinking or manufacturing. If it is, but what
Yes.
I am suggesting, if it is not a very costly affair, we can even think that how we can take the funds, or we can pull the funds from the private sector, and government with the private sectors can start manufacturing over these SRMs. Because at laboratory level, at this regional reference standard laboratory level, if we can start doing something, certainly I'm always ready. I'm always open to do something, because I know many of the industries which are ready to offer the funds or to pull the funds. But you have to come closer, because we don't have the expertise. You have to tell us, you have to transfer the technology, and how cheaper the technology can be transferred. This has to be think over it.
Sure. Because from time to time we are providing awareness program to different industries, enable through NABL, and just see the NPL website. There are so many programs.
Okay.
So anyone can link with the NPL. I think there are calendar from October to January. There are so many programs. Anyone
Okay.
can join that program, and it is hardly few hundred rupees, or I think maybe 3,000 to 4,000 rupees, something, not more than that.
Okay.
Facilities
So
available there.
very good.
Staying
So
facility are there.
sir, what I request you, if we organize one awareness program among the industries at this local area, maybe in
Yeah.
Gujarat and Maharashtra. I'm concentrating,
Yeah.
first of all, I'm concentrating in Gujarat and the Maharashtra. How you
Sure.
can support them? Because you know whatsoever the programs we are organizing, sir, these programs are all free. We are not charging any fee,
No,
and that's
no
why.
problem. No problem.
Okay,
Legal
so
metrology is having all the facilities, and I think there is no follow the money for legal metrology. So you can one program in Gujarat area. In the
okay,
January 2023, we are going to organize one program for uh, Ministry of Jal Shakti. So
okay,
same program can be organized in Gujarat also, for Gujarat area also.
okay, all right,
Yes,
sir.
so Ashutosh, yeah, certainly we need to take this forward. The point made by Dr. Nahar, you possibly need to get in touch with the industry. I also wanted this to be probably looked from the perspective of, he mentioned somewhere in the discussion and presentation that there's a lot of export potential for reference standard materials. And internationally, many countries like UAE or Saudi Arabia, he mentioned, they're looking forward to Indian reference standard materials being supplied, like we were probably sourcing earlier from other countries. So there is a twofold angle to this also. Industry or maybe categories where there is a lot of requirement internationally also, and we are able to maybe expand the scale of that particular reference material production and export it to the countries in need. That could be another very good area to look into. The second point is, if we are still sourcing reference materials from abroad, and they are coming in large quantities from countries like China or many other places, we possibly need to square on those particular categories in consultation separately with the NPL and Dr. Nahar's division, and look into how those particular things can be possibly domestically developed with the help of the industry here in the long term. So that will be a long-term thing, and maybe we can look into making a project out of it in the ministry also, if this area is there. And we have certain laboratories and other organizations who can support this particular thing. So we need to take this forward from both the ends.
Sure, sir. Sure. We will do something, sir. And certainly I'll ask today with the industries available here, because I know many industries who are actually interested to do something new fields, and these development and manufacturing of these SRMs is certainly a very new field in which we can work very well, because India is actually somewhere behind with the till now, and we have not done a lot good or a big initiative in this particular area. Certainly will do, sir. Some of the participants, Santosh ji, some of the participants are asking whether all of them can switch on their camera so that we can take a photograph of all. There is a request in the chat box that if camera can be on and we can take a photo. Is it possible? Okay, so sir, I think it is not, it may not be possible because it's a webinar type of things. It's not a meeting type of things. So in webinars, it may be difficult. But sir, we will share the presentation, and certainly very soon we will be having a program again and online, because sir, nowadays hybrid programs are the best one, in which the industry, if somebody can come physically, it is nothing like it, and otherwise online they can understand what best can be done, what are the lackings, where we can start immediately thinking of it. So with this, sir, we have with us
Agarwal sir, I want to ask one question, please.
sir.
I
Please,
want
sir,
to
please. No,
this
please, sir.
Indian pharmacopoeia. What is the legal status of that?
Which
Because
one,
they
sir?
are saying the reference material which is developed by Indian pharmacopoeia, they are using their own traceability. Do you think so?
No, sir. Traceability will be given by you only, na NPL.
Yeah, but they are saying there is no requirement for Indian pharmacopoeia to get traceability with the traceability of Indian pharmacopoeia. So they are ready to
But how?
listen our.
From where they are taking the traceability then?
This is a they are saying we are using pharmacopoeia traceability,
Okay.
Now, if they are
and they
using some
are
international
suggesting government of
traceability,
India has given the power to develop reference material. There is a one monogram, and no one can develop reference material related to Indian pharmacopoeia.
Okay.
Because legal metrology department, I think antibiotics may be under your purview also.
We can think over it. Certainly, sir, we can think over it because as far as OML recommendations are concerned, we are having the standards or the recommendations
Yeah.
for these SRMs. Certainly, we will sit together and we will find the ways how best or what best can be done. Certainly,
Yeah,
we will do that, sir.
because there is so much requirement for antibiotics. Even
Yes.
in the pesticide, in India, nobody is making reference material related to pesticide. We are just making formulation. All the pesticides, maybe 10 milligrams, are coming in 20,000 rupees from the abroad. And we are
Yes.
able to produce high purity pesticide in India. We are just making some formulation. We are procuring from China, somewhere, we are adding something, and we are making final formulation.
Yeah, that is the point I was asking, that what are the areas, like only formulations are being formed here. So certainly you are mentioning very rightly, there are no pesticide reference materials being developed in the country. And there is a requirement to probably take this up with the organizations concerned and the ministries. And we need to develop in-house capabilities with the help of industry to develop those here rather than importing all these, which may
Yes,
be highly costly, and we are unable to track or help our maybe agriculture produce, which has a lot of pesticides which are found, and those items are rejected subsequently from abroad. So
because
the
legal
other point
metrology, I think,
which you mentioned about the traceability non-requirements being told by maybe Indian pharmacological area, which I think Ashutosh will study that. He'll get in touch with the Department of Pharmaceuticals and Department of Health, and we'll see where exactly their traceability is being getting rectified from, and who's giving that traceability to their
yes.
standards. Right, right.
Actually, in I think 20 years before, these all agreements had been made by Government of India related to this building material. NCCBM was claiming that we are the only authorized person who are making reference material related to cement and building materials. In the same way, precious material are claiming by the Mint Mumbai and this antibiotics by pharmacopoeia. So we are not aware ki how so many things are going on in India across. There should we are going to say SI unit. It is tested through NPL only, and this dissemination through legal metrology. But still, well, because nobody is going to listen, and we don't have enforcement. You have the enforcement agency also.
Yes, sir. Right, sir. Right, sir. We will think over it and we will sit together. We will find the ways how it can be done. Secondly, sir, now as we are discussing, my request is, as sir has already told, you kindly find the chart or the material which we can share with the industry where we can work together. And as I will also request the industry to be in touch with you, and if there is a requirement, we will be in between and the legal methodology, NPL and the industry, and we'll form a way how we can develop few of the reference materials and how fast it can be done. With this, sir, we have with us our Honorable Director, sir, Shri B.N. Dikshit, sir. I would like to request Dikshit, sir, to kindly speak 2 words, please. Shri B.N. Dikshit, sir.
जी
Ji, sir. Please.
तो ये डॉक्टर साहब जो है एनपीएल से इन्होंने
जी, सर.
काफी क्वालिटी पॉलिसी और अन्य चीजों के बारे में आ, जिक्र किया और ट्रेसेबिलिटी का इम्पोर्टेंस बतलाया कि लीगल मेट्रोलॉजी में ट्रेसेबिलिटी रहनी चाहिए नेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स के प्रति जो है। तो लीगल मेथोडोलॉजी का तो उन्होंने वो स्थान बताया, यद्यपि मेट्रोलॉजी का इम्पोर्टेंस तरह तरह के रोल में डिफरेंट डिफरेंट होता है जो है। और रेफरेंस स्टैंडर्ड्स लेबोरेटरीज देश में खोली गई हैं कि लोगों को करेक्ट वेट्स एंड मेजर्स इत्यादि मिल सके, और कहीं पर कोई असुविधा हो तो स्टेट और सेंट्रल के बीच में एक लिंक का काम कर सकें, जो है तो जो गैप हो उसको दूर कर सकें जो है। तो उम्मीद है कि RRSL अहमदाबाद अपने क्षेत्र के जो भी इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, ऑफिसर्स हैं, उनको जिस तरह से लेके चल रही है, मैं सोचता हूँ कि आगे भविष्य में RRSL अहमदाबाद के प्रति लोगों का ध्यान आकर्षित होगा कि एक ऐसा प्लेस है कि जहाँ एवरी सैटरडे को सेमिनार्स हुआ करते थे और डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स पर होते थे। कभी दिल्ली के लोगों को बुलाया जाता था NPL से, कभी QCI के लोगों को बुलाया जाता था, कभी दूसरे साइंटिस्ट लोगों को बुलाया जाता था। तो और भी जो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट में मास्टर होते थे उनको बुलाया जाता। तो इन ख्यालातों से लोगों का ज्ञानवर्धन होता था और होता चला आ रहा है। आई होप जो है कि इसे इंडस्ट्री अधिक से अधिक प्रभावित होंगे और जो यंग ऑफिसर्स हैं उनके लिए तो ये काफ़ी वरदान साबित होगा जो है। तो मैं इस तरह के सेमिनार की सफलता की हर समय कामना करता हूँ, सफलता के लिए शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ और ये कामना करता हूँ कि ये सेमिनार हर समय भविष्य में सफल बना रहे। तो आशुतोष जी आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और माथुर साहब को प्रणाम जो है, और डॉक्टर नाहर साहब को भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जिन्होंने अपना एक कीमती समय निकाल के ये इतना अपना अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन दिया। थैंक यू आशुतोष सर।
सजेशंस
थैंक यू।
आ रहे हैं आशुतोष जी, वो
जी सर।
सजेशंस वगैरह हैं। उन्हीं कुछ साथी इस एरिया में आई थिंक काफी नॉलेज रखते हैं, काम कर चुके हैं।
जी
हमें एक सेपरेट उनके साथ मीटिंग को ऑर्गेनाइज करने की चेष्टा करनी चाहिए।
जी
आप इंडस्ट्री के साथ तो कर ही रहे हैं,
जी
हमें
सर।
certainly we should be listening to all the views which are coming separately and have a separate discussion. There are some mentions in your chat box about the work being done by organizations in this particular area. So we need to possibly look into and get on a call with all these people again, so that we get better visibility about what exactly is happening in various areas where there are reference standards required.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I would like to request all these participants who are sending this information. Certainly, if because we have with your number, we can certainly we will come back to you and we'll be having a close meeting, not this webinar type of things. We'll be having a close online meeting with all the participants, and we will see how fast we can move in the chairmanship of Shri Mathur sir, who is our joint secretary, and the beloved joint secretary sir, who is always ready to work for the development of the country. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank Mathur Sahab, Dikshit Sahab, Nahar Singh Sahab, and all the participants with my NIC team, Shri Santosh ji, who is organizing this all programs. With this, I would like to thank all. Now we can close this program with the permission of the chair. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.